Welcome to Heart Collaborations, where we explore the heart of wellness, mental and emotional well-being, relationships, personal passions, and thriving parenthood. Hi, I'm Annette.
And I'm Anita. Collectively, we have over 50 years in the educational and mental health arenas. Whether you're looking for information, personal stories, or just a place to feel seen and heard, you're in the right place. Join us as we dive into conversations that inspire, empower, help you grow, and add a little laughter to your life. Hi, welcome to Heart Collaborations. Annette, I am so excited. Here we are in July, and we are on so many platforms. What are we on? Pandora, iTunes,
iHeartRadio, YouTube, of course.
YouTube, Spotify, Audible.
Audible, yep.
Yeah, and find us on Instagram. We're just at Heart Collaborations. We're excited that you're here. And today we're going to be talking. Oh, let me not forget. We want to thank Rob Bliss, our sponsor, for sponsoring us and being really good to us. Like, this is a place where really people get together and network.
Yeah, every time we come in, we are seeing, new people doing all kinds of really cool things. So it's great to have the opportunity to meet them and collaborate with them.
Yeah, so we're having a good time.
I've met so many authors here. So many people that have written books.
We need to write a book.
We've got to write a book.
We've got to write a book. I mean, that's all there is to it, Annette. We got to write a book. But today we're going to be talking about stress, and we're getting close to like the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
The packing of lunches. If you pack lunches, that could be stressful. Finding the kids' clothes, finding your own clothes, like that in itself could be stressful, right?
Right, because it's a new layer of kind of oftentimes hecticness, right? We kind of move out of that relaxed summer where the kids are kind of at home to now we're having to meet schedules.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've been doing this for quite some time, like you've got a junior in high school, they're probably packing their own lunch. You might be helping a little bit, but it's not as stressful as maybe it's been in the past. Or if it's new to you and you are, new to the stress or, so we're going to define what stress is first.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Do you want me or you want to?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go on with your bad self.
So we know that stress is a response to pressure, whether it is a new kind of stress. It could also be a good kind of stress, or it could be something that is triggered by an experience.
Right.
It could be really anything that is maybe makes a threat or is a sense of a new feeling that we have when we might be feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, it can be something in a way as simple as you're driving in the car and maybe you've got a place to be at a certain time and you're running a little behind. And so maybe you start feeling a little stressed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just something simple like that can make it like, it's very specific, right? Stress is really specific when we talk about stress. We know that we might be stressed about an exam, right? But once we take it, we're good.
Right.
We might be stressed about the in-laws coming over. And once they're gone, we're good. So it could be, but we when our body feels stress, it also produces hormones that trigger a fight or flight response. And
so there's a physiological reaction of the body, right?
Yeah. So,
So for just a second, let's talk about some of those things that we might experience if we're experiencing stress. And some of those are going to be similar to physiological things that happen when we experience anxiety. But sweaty palms, maybe a faster heartbeat.
Yeah.
Tense muscles,
stomach ache, nausea,
right?
For some, headache. I don't know, maybe some aches and pains.
Yeah,
for
Could
some,
be, right?
Or heart palpitations. If your heart is like going really fast. So it could be really anything that your body is feeling. But I think too sometimes stress may feel like we're anxious. And we might get a little confused with like, is it anxiety or is it stress?
Right.
Where we know that stress is specific and anxiety is a worry that lingers, right? For a while. So just the two. I know that whenever I'm stressed, I'm like usually in a hurry, not talking to people because I'm like zoned in, trying to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you might see like a little withdrawal from that person,
Right.
or not really talking to, and you might see, I'm not a crier, but I know some people that are criers under stress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a like, I'm kind of good under stress. Like I can work under stress or not stress.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a friend that I remember because she would be like, "Oh, I've got to get this out." And I mean, I'd be like, "Why are you crying?" I look over and I'm like, "Why are you crying?" And she's like, "Because I'm so stressed," and I'm like, "Okay," And so I'd be trying to help her with stuff, but so she was a crier. I'd say she cries about like stress and about anything too. I mean, she's very like on kind of that's how she responds with
Right.
her
Right.
body is she cries.
It's kind of interesting. I've been in, different types of situations. And for example, in a crisis situation, there've been a couple of times I've come up on a wreck where, there was someone who was significantly injured, that sort of thing. I was the only one on the scene. In those situations, I seem to do really well. I just kick in and go on some kind of autopilot deal. But if it's another just kind of daily stress, that's when it shows up for me in a more significant way. It's really weird. I get maybe a little bit irritable, I think, sometimes.
Maybe frustrated.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, when I'm stressed, like I said, I'm like zoned in. You're not going to hear from me. I'm like zoned in.
I'll remember that.
So, we talk about stress, and when, I talked about it's not only parents that get stressed, kids get stressed. We all get stressed at different points in our life, right? And it could be anything that we talked about.
Because it's a normal feature. It's a part of being human is for our body to react to this thing that we call stress. And it's a positive thing oftentimes, right? It serves a purpose.
It does serve a purpose. One of the things that really, we've talked about a lot of things, but just even being aware, recognizing that we are under stress is like the number one thing of how we can help ourselves. Knowing that one, I'm in a hurry, I can already feel it in my body. So just having myself slow down for just a little bit, it's going to be okay.
Right.
I'm going to be late and I'm going to be late and that's it.
Yeah. So it sounds like that you kind of give yourself a little pep talk or normalize the situation or kind of look about, is this really significant? Is it going to impact my life tomorrow or the next week or not? Because sometimes perspective taking, in other words, is this something that's really worth being truly stressed about? That seems like that maybe helps you.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the body. So scanning the body.
Scanning the body is good. Yeah.
Am I tensing, my muscles? Am I feeling some maybe stress across the back of my shoulders? So kind of scanning the body and seeing, is stress showing up in my body? And if so, what can I do to kind of relax that, right?
Yeah, because I think sometimes we get into that autopilot mode when we're stressed. We just are doing, and we're not even realizing kind of where we're at. So just kind of recognizing where we're at.
I think that awareness of ourselves also helps us be aware of others, and especially, for family members or a coworker, if you're noticing them, being more irritable or whatever the situation may be for them, you might take notice that, maybe they're acting like that because they're a little stressed. So let me check in with them and see if there's anything I can do to help.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more empathetic or understanding.
It's about that community we talked about, right?
Right.
Building that community. And so that goes along with build supportive relationships, right? So we're saying recognize, build supportive relationships, and another important thing, we've talked about packing lunches.
Right.
I mean, eating healthy is a big help with stress. That's something that I really need to work on myself.
No, I hear you for sure. And you mentioned relationships. it is so good to be able to have someone that when we are feeling stressed, a little under the gun or whatever the situation may be, to have somebody that we can brainstorm with or we can just vent with. Yeah, it's nice to have somebody who is listening to us and maybe empathetic to our needs or has a suggestion for us. It's really powerful.
Yeah, yeah. Goes back to the community thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start using that a whole lot. Because
I like the word tribe.
Yeah, I like the word tribe too. Yeah, yeah. So eating healthy, and then sometimes, like I said, whenever we're stressed, we get into this autopilot. And for some, it may be, either drinking or smoking, not even realizing why we're doing it. We just are, if it makes us feel better, right? And so sometimes, we need to be aware of our bodies and then making healthy choices.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common to hear somebody like, "Oh gosh, I'm having a drink today." After today, this evening I'm having a drink.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think being aware, so that we're purposeful, and maybe you're still going to have that drink, right? Maybe you're going to go visit with some friends and have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Or, maybe your particular situation is that's not a choice that you want to make. So.
Yeah. Or, you know what, too, walking. Walking is very underrated as far as when it comes to dealing with stress. Walking is a really good type of exercise to do. And it only takes, you could go out there for maybe 15, 20 minutes and you don't really have to walk a whole lot.
Right. Every time I turn around, I'm reading an article about walking,
Yeah.
and how good it is for you. If you're wanting to lose weight, how good it is for you.
You know how our phones listen to us, right?
Right.
So I've been getting a lot of apps, a lot of offers for walking to your health weight.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have not popped on one of those, but they just keep coming up.
Yoga also.
Oh yeah.
I know that, I do not have a regular yoga practice, but the times in my life where I have, oh my goodness, I can tell a difference. So yeah, I need to think about reincorporating that for sure.
Another one is just taking time out. Just taking a few minutes. It doesn't have to be like a whole day, but if it's a whole day, it's okay. But sometimes if it's just 5 or 10 minutes that we just need to stay in the car a little bit longer, or catch our breath or, just kind of waiting for a little bit. So, yeah.
I've taken 2 baths this week, and it was just because I could feel the tension, in my shoulders. And I'm like, and I had the time. So I'm like, okay, before I go to bed, I'm doing me a nice little bubble bath.
Good for you.
I know.
Good for you. And 2 in 1 week?
2 in 1 week.
That's awesome. Okay. So, we've talked about sleep too. Getting enough sleep. I've been trying to go to bed a little bit early by 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
I think every little bit helps, right? My parents, in their 80s, right? And sleep has really become, a problem for them. So I've done a lot of reading, so I can share information. And, there's some basic things that we can do that can make a big difference in sleep. And one is as often as possible to have a schedule. Another one is to remove blue light, at least 30 minutes, prior to going to the bedroom. Another one, this one's big for me, is if I'm sleeping in a place that has blackout curtains so that there's not very much light. Oh my goodness, I have so much better a night's sleep.
That's good.
Yeah. A lower temperature. So not everybody realizes it, but our bodies do better if the temperature is lower.
Really? Okay.
So crank that air condition up.
I would say that's really being kind to ourselves, like really taking care of ourselves and making sure that we are, just taking care of ourselves. So yeah, I mean, that's part of the stress that we don't have to deal with.
So some mindfulness. One of my all-time favorites is box breathing.
Show us how to do it, Annette. We've got lots of people here on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to miss a chance to share this. And for those that are listening, I'll do my best to try to describe it. It's going to take a second, but I think it'll be worth it. I actually found out about box breathing because I was reading an article about how the Navy SEALs use box breathing. And when I was reading this, I'm like, oh my goodness, if the Navy SEALs use this, I'm sorry. There's got to be some credibility to this, right?
Yeah.
And so they use it as a routine, but they also use it when they're in high stakes situations. And one of the things and it helps regulate their emotions.
Yes.
It helps regulate their body, so they're breathing.
Because a lot of the times we're our mind is somewhere else and we're not present. So that really helps bring you back to the present.
Yes, they talk about clarity. That's one of the main reasons, is because it's so important for them to be alert and have clarity. And when we're stressed, that creates that fog sometimes of the brain. So this helps center them. So I love it. So let's give it a try.
Let's do it. Let's do
it. So box breathing has two parts. Okay. It has a visualization part. You're going to visualize a box, and then it also has a breathing part. And so I encourage you to just start by, if you're at a place where you can close your eyes, that's awesome. But close your eyes, and would you want to close your eyes, Anita?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I was underneath the box, but I will close my eyes.
Yeah. So you're going to you're going to visualize the box, okay, in your brain, right? In your mind's eye, you're visualizing that box. And when we go up the left-hand side of the box, we're going to breathe in. And each time we breathe in, we're going to do it for a count of 4. So when we breathe in, so let's just start with that. All right.
Okay.
So we're going up the left-hand side of the box, and we're going to breathe in. And then hold that breath as we go across the top of the box for a count of 4. And then we're going to exhale as we are going down the right-hand side of the box for a count of 4. And then we're going to hold that breath as we go across the bottom for a count of 4. And then typically, I try to do that for at least 4 times, okay? But if you'll do it, I'll kind of guide you and I'll count. All right? Does that work? All right.
That works. I was trying by myself, but go on.
Well, for you're no pro at it, but for people learning, it's helpful. So if you will just, like I said, visualize a box in your brain, in your mind's eye, and then you're going to visualize going up the left-hand side of that box. And so breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold and go across the top. 2, 3, 4. Go down and breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold and go across the bottom. 2, 3, 4. And we're not gonna count this time, but we're just gonna do the breathing. Okay.
Okay.
So we're visualizing the box. We're going up the left-hand side. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. All right, we'll stop right there. I mean, just in doing that 2 times,
That was awesome.
I'm already relaxed. I love it. If you haven't tried it, please do. You can go on and find it on the internet, and you'll see that a lot of people do box breathing without the visualization, but I find it to be much more powerful if you do the visualization and the breathing and the counting. So
Yeah.
give that a try.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Yeah. So, that brings me to like mindfulness. Just again, that awareness, being mindful of, it could be just taking the time to sit out, just following your breath.
Right.
Just taking and just following your breath and just kind of being mindful. Either you could use a Calm app, the Balance app.
Yeah. So Calm, that's an app you can get on your phone.
Yeah.
There's a free version and a paid version. We're not associated with them in any way, but we like to shout out for good products, and that's a good product.
Yeah.
And then the tapping solution, I think you mentioned that. Did you? The tapping solution?
Yeah. I mean, I do the butterfly hugs, but I know you do your tapping a little bit different.
Yeah.
So you're tapping.
You can, and I won't go through a whole routine here, but you can find that online. There's also a tapping solution app, but you will usually have some type of saying or phrase that you say depending on the situation. And so
what's your phrase?
You might start here. It depends on the situation. You might start here.
What's your phrase right now, Annette?
And then you might, my heart is, even though Anita's getting on my nerves. No, I'm kidding. And then it's here, the side, below, right here. So anyway, and then it's very helpful.
Yeah, I like these, and I also do the same thing, but like on your knees.
Right.
As you are breathing in and breathing out, bringing awareness and bringing you to the present.
Right. And for those that are just listening, so the tapping is just like with 2 fingers where you're tapping. And we started at the top of the head, then we went to above the eyes, then we went to the side of the eyes, below the eyes, right above the mouth, between the mouth and the nose, the chin, and then what do you call these? The shoulders, the shoulder blades, right?
Yeah.
That's a good place to start. But like I said, you can look that up very easily.
Now, one other app. Well, I want to mention 2 other apps.
Okay, cool.
We forgot Headspace.
Yeah.
And then one that I personally use myself is How We Feel.
I haven't used that one.
And I love that one. I love that one because you can set a timer for whenever you want to check in and just kind of check your awareness to your body.
Okay.
Any body sensations.
Okay.
And then I love what it does later on. Well, there's a couple of things it does. One is if you say it gives you all of the words for you. It gives you all the verbiage. So if you are feeling kind of excited or kind of not excited, just kind of not sad, but kind of low energy. Just low energy, right? So when you go to low energy, and then it gives you all those feelings of low energy. Then you get to pick one. And then after you pick one, it goes and it gives you like all these things that you could do. You could do breathing, you could do stories, you could do journal.
Okay.
You can also listen to a little quote,
Right.
So it gives you a lot of really cool things. But the best part that I like is you can go back and look. If you are doing it every single day, 2 or 3 times a week, you can kind of see where you're like, oh, you know what? I haven't been feeling that week, that great all this. This week, I feel like I've been feeling more sad than happy.
Okay.
You can go in there and look and be like, no, really, I've been feeling really good all this month and I didn't even pay attention.
Okay. So it kind of helps you see kind of longitudinal how your emotions have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's How We Feel. It's like a little rainbow heart, but that's a great one.
I really believe in patterns and routines. I'm not so much one of these people that, when you're already over the top, pulling out one of these, although I think for stress, it can be helpful for sure. And do do one of these techniques or whatever.
Yeah.
But to be more powerful, is to be making deposits as you go. Right.
Getting organized. I mean,
and to have a routine, pick some mindfulness or some relaxation, some stress buster that you have as a part of your daily routine or weekly routine. Kind of layer those things that you can do. Some might just take, a minute. Some might take 20 minutes, just depending on what it is. But if you build those things in, then you're building like a resiliency, I guess I could say.
Yeah. And you're building that part of organization, as far as like the meal prepping. You're going to have to pack lunch Monday through Friday, right? And so what are the things that you can prepare for is organize your grocery list and see what all you're going to need for the week. Otherwise you're kind of scrambling and we only have groceries till Wednesday and then we got to go back out there and shop.
Right.
Man, I hate doing that after work. Like, whenever they call me and say, "Hey, can you stop by the store?" And I'm like, "No, I am like, I've been at work all day and I'm ready to go home."
Get home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. If we strategize and kind of have a plan and what can we do that will make our life a little bit easier and a little less stressful, meal prepping does work for a lot of people, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away all my secrets, but you may pick an AI device and you can put a menu in there and then that AI device will give you, if you ask it, will give you a grocery list, will give you recipes, will give you calorie and all the counts that you might need. That saves me a lot of time.
That's awesome. So you do that every week or?
I do, yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Okay. And, one other thing that we talked about is nature, going for a walk outside or just bathing in the sun for just a little bit. And then I know you love the outdoors as much as I do.
Yes.
So
definitely. I mean, I just mentioned it, I start smiling,
Yeah, yeah. And I know you like to take little Pablo outside.
Yes. So I have a pug. If I haven't told you before, I have a pug. His name is Pablo. He's the best.
Yeah.
So talk about animals and how, helpful animals are when it comes to stress.
Yeah.
So
preach it about that one. We need to bring Pablo on so he can.
Oh, we definitely need to bring Pablo on. It's going to happen for sure.
Yeah.
But watch a sunset, go be around water. I love to kayak. I love to be on the water at the sunset.
Go hang out with friends too.
Yeah.
Like that's a good one.
For sure.
And I think we've said let's find a friend and talk about how you're feeling or if you're stressed or you talked about that with the relationships.
Right.
So yeah. So stress is really something that in the long run, if we continue to stay stressed, it's harmful. It could be harmful to our bodies, our health. So taking care of it and trying to do what we can, and like you said, reaching out to our tribe and, asking for help is another way to help and alleviate some stress.
Yeah. And there may be times when we feel like stress is prevalent and it's really beginning to affect our mood, to affect our concentration, to affect, how we're coping day to day. And that's a time when you might check in and say, maybe I want to check out and see about some professional help. Maybe I want to check into maybe seeing a counselor for a few sessions or a therapist. So you can always start by talking with your primary care doctor.
Yeah. And there's so many organizations out there like the JED Foundation gives you lots of information. NAMI gives you lots of information.
Yeah, so the JED Foundation.
The National Alliance for Mental Illness is NAMI.org, and it gives you a lot of information. The World Health Organization, WHO, gives you a lot of information as well.
So go to these websites and, a few weeks ago, I found the JED Foundation website and I was amazed at how much good information it has. So definitely check that out.
Yeah.
All of those are wonderful sites.
So anything else that we should add to stress? Well, while we're doing that, I want to mention that we are on Instagram at Heart to Heart Collaborations. Please follow us on YouTube. What else did we say we were on?
So we're on
iTunes,
Pandora,
Spotify, iHeart, and Audible.
Yeah.
So find us.
Basically wherever you can find a podcast, we're on there. And, I just really want to speak to you that if anything that you've heard, if it's helpful and you think this is a podcast that you might want to share with a friend or share online, we would really appreciate it. We're just getting started. And so this is a time where you really want people to step up and help.
Yeah.
So we would love it if you like, share, subscribe. There's a reason that we want you to do that. It helps us get to a place where more people are able to find us.
Yeah. And really, we want to spread the word of wellness, whether it's mental health, physical health, or just how it impacts us. And so we are all about wellness. Mm-hmm. So what do we normally say?
So we say, own your wellness.
Elevate your life.
The content presented in this episode or any others should not be considered therapy and is not prescriptive. If you have questions or concerns about mental health, contact your primary care physician or local mental health provider. The opinions expressed are solely ours and are not representative of our employers or coworkers.